Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to this live stream slash video encouraging the masses to proceed along the path of personal mindfulness practice, mainly meditation, mainly getting started with meditation. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at, even if you've never even considered this type of idea, it's your lucky day. Wow. Congratulations. Today you're going to get a little bit of a idea about what that actually is. What does that actually mean? How can you actually get started on that? And is it possible? Is it possible for you to truly begin a transformative journey into your own enlightenment? Can that be done? The answer is you can. You can take that journey. And there really is no end to the journey. You eventually sort of pass from this realm into something different, and that's cool, and you carry on your journey as fucking stardust or something. But here you are now as a human being on planet Earth, manifested as a random fucking person. And as that random person, you in fact have a responsibility, which is engaging with your own thoughts and emotions and inclinations and ideas and goals and starting to fucking embrace that stuff and learning about how you behave, how you think, how the human body works, how the fucking mind works, how the emotions work, how relationships work. You can start to do that. Oh my God. Yes, you can. You can get started, right? So one of the ways you can do that, if you've never even considered this before, which probably is a lot of people, and if you are someone who is kind of considering this, and maybe that's what's drawing you in, attracting you in like a fucking magnet to this type of video, good. Then maybe you are a little more open to it. So cool, you want to get started. All right. One of the ways you can absolutely just get started, like if you go and watch some like motivational video, if you go watch some like Tony Robbins shit, and you're like, I want to get started, like what the fuck, I want to take action, da da da. Let me tell you what that is, literally what that is. That is you putting headphones on and doing 3 minutes of meditation. Okay? That is you taking action. That is like literally the exact thing you can do. And you can do that 3 times this week and you can keep it up for 3 months. That is literally like the best possible action taking thing you can fucking do. Because it's a true investment. It's not just you like fucking screaming and writing some shit on Instagram like, I'm a fucking goal seeker, get your goals, hustle, hustle. That's cool and that's fine, but you need to build up like the fabric of your disciplined routine that's going to be there when bullshit comes along. So you don't just like hammer home for 2 weeks and then give up. No, we need to fucking bang this out for like 3 months. Like you need to get this shit in your system. 3 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Do that for 3 months. Then double one of them. Right? So do 3 minutes 6 times a week. And keep this shit going. And then you'll be able to like build it up over time. And then maybe your fucking kids can do better. And maybe their kids can do better. Right? And in a few generations, your family will be a fucking dynasty. You'll be fucking the kings of the world. Maybe in this life, right? Maybe you can do it all in this life. Maybe you can go from nothing to something. Right? Maybe you can be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger who came to America with nothing and became fucking governor of California and a multimillionaire and marry into royalty. You might be able to do that. So let's go ahead and get started, but it still has to get started with you doing the simple thing. Simply sit down, get that practice going, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger did his daily fucking workouts every day. He went in there, he did squats, he worked calves, he did pull-ups, boom, 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 he got it done. Right? He posed in the mirror. He went to goddamn ballet classes. He got it going. right? He got started with a daily practice, and over time he built upon that, and he built up his whole life, his whole empire, everything he ever, wanted, even a fucking illegitimate kid with his maid. Right? So nothing's perfect. No one's perfect, but we can do something. You can do something. You can build something. So you really want to get yourself going on that. And it's fine, like whatever bullshit you face, like you're gonna face that, like because that's kind of the nature of it. It's like if you go for like a hike in the woods, you're gonna encounter like some degree of resistance from Mother Nature. Like to some degree, there's gonna be like mosquitoes, or the trees are gonna scratch your arms, or it's gonna be hot, or it's gonna be cold, or it's gonna rain, or it's gonna be too sunny, or there's gonna be mountain fucking lions. Whatever it is, you're going to face some kind of resistance, but that's not a sign for you to turn back. That's a sign for you to be like, oh, cool, interesting. Here's some interesting reference experiences along this journey. That's fun. That's exciting. Cool. I just embrace that reference experience and I keep moving. One day you'll be dead, that's true, and that's fine. Because while you were here, you move forward on your journey. Yeah. So you start doing that, and you look at people who aren't doing that and take a moment just to observe them. Observe how they behave, observe how they talk, right? Watch their movements. Watch how they gravitate towards each other. Watch how they crystallize. They crystallize into groups together, and they reaffirm each other's viewpoints. They congregate, right, in some fucking seedy bar. They group together on some fucking street corner while they fucking do heroin, right? They group together at some fucking high-end restaurant and talk shit about each other. These people, they group together, and it doesn't make a lot of difference what they look like, what the fuck their money is, what their fucking background is. It doesn't even really matter. It's more about who they actually are. How are they actually behaving? Oh shit, Agent Q, what's up, player? So we want to look at these groups of people and see how do they what draws them together, right? Have they gotten together with really just the purpose of talking shit about other people, right? Did they get together? What's up, man? Did they get together at a high-end bar just to sit there so they could feel good and dress up, but they're really still just talking shit about each other. They're really still just talking shit about people. So you have to observe what are the tendencies of these people that you are associating with. How do they talk, right? And what are the feelings that you have when you are around them, right? How do you feel when you get around these people? Do you feel like, wow, this is really engaging and this is definitely raising up my value? Or do you feel like this is not really going anywhere and this is kind of stupid? So you definitely want to think about that. And there's not ever going to be like a time when someone who is kind of like a toxic relationship for you, there's never going to be a time when they're going to be able to tell you, like, hey, I think this is toxic. Like, I think that I'm poisoning you and bringing you down. They're never going to do that because they want you there. They want to draw off you. So you need to be willing to be like, okay, cool, but this is not working for me. And then you go back into your own frame and you start to think, you start to reflect. And how you do that, you actually do your meditation, right? And if you can start doing that, and if you've already been doing that, because now I've been doing these videos for like almost a month, I guess. So some people are actually doing it. So you can eventually add in more things. Like you can eventually add in like writing shit down. Write shit down in a journal. Like, this is what I think about that person. This is what I think about this situation. This is what I want to get out of that situation. This is my goal for this fucking activity. And you can start to write it down and it makes it more real, right? This is how it works. You know, this is how the life works. This is how reality works. Because we sometimes, as these like monkey creatures, are almost just like clinging on to this rock. In a way, we're lucky that gravity's holding us on here. Because we are sometimes just clinging on to a fucking spinning rock. And for us to keep engaged with some type of successful positive reality, we have to use these little ideas like, I need to write something down and this is kind of how it works and I'm sort of able to make sense of it this way. Sometimes it is that fucking difficult, especially at the beginning. You have to just kind of fight your way into it. But I promise you there will be moments of just hilariousness. It really gets hilarious. Sometimes when you start to see the glitches in the Matrix and you really see like, oh, it's all just a big fucking game. Like, it's just a big old joke. It's a big old fucking game. It's hilarious. And you start to see the patterns and the sort of like the like universal sort of way of things. You can start to have a laugh about it. You can start to really be like, this is fucking cool. And it can be cool. And deep down, underneath it all, it is hilarious, right? Like, all, if you want to figure it out, like, you know what I mean? You can have like enlightened moments, or you can, if you like are in love, or you have like kids that you love, or relationships that are really good, or you've really hammering home on some projects and you're like getting successful and making money and everything, you're rocking out. Like, you're going to be doing it awesome. And you can at times be like, this is just hilarious. I love it. So I would just encourage people, like, if you have any, if your fucking eyes work, if your ears work, if your fucking arms work, if some amount of you is alive and you can hear this message, or you can fucking engage with this, you should try. Like, you should push forward. You should hammer the fuck home, because someone else is doing it. Someone else did it. I did it. There's people with fucking no arms that are doing it. There's people with no vision or no hearing that are doing it, right? There's people all across the board that are finding a way. There's people like in a wheelchair. There's people like poor. There's people like homeless. Like, and people, if you can engage truly with where you are and fundamentally fucking just hold that shit. Be like, this is where the fuck I am, yo. This is where the fuck I am. Like, I'm homeless. I'm sitting on the side of the road. Fuck. And you just embrace it all the fucking way. And you're just like, I'm gonna find a way to do better. I'm just gonna, every single stimulus, I'm just gonna find a way to create something positive out of it. Good, right? It's like that video on Jocko Willink's YouTube channel. Check it out. I think it's called Good. And he talks about how he's a retired Navy SEAL, hardcore dude. It's a video, I think it's called Good, and he just talks about everything's good. And he's talking about like dire situations. He's like in the fucking Iraq war, and he's like got his platoon going into a house, and fucking IEDs are going off, and then fucking enemy soldiers are coming from behind him, and he's like, good, perfect. Right? What can I find good out of this? Enemy soldiers are behind us. Okay, perfect. That gives us an opportunity that at least we know they're behind us. Right? We know something about them. We have intelligence on them. They're behind us. Perfect. IEDs are going off. Okay, good. Now we know that there were IEDs there, but now they've gone off. Good. And he just fucking hammers home on everything. Finding a positive no matter what the fucking cost. One arm got blown off. Perfect. Now I have an opportunity to get a prosthetic arm, and I can strengthen my right arm. I don't have to worry about this fucking left arm all the time. It's out of the way, right? Maybe I weigh less. Maybe now I don't have to carry around an extra 10 pounds in my arm. I can carry extra ammunition, right? He's just unfucking believably ruthless with his just fucking criminal positive attitude. It's fucking bananas. But he makes it happen, right? So I'm just proposing some component of this. I'm not saying you have to join the Navy SEALs and kick fucking doors in and be in a war or something, but you can apply that to wherever you are, right? It's like the homeless person's like, good, it's winter time and I'm freezing cold and I'm laying under a bench in the park. Perfect. Look up, the stars are there. Okay, good, I can look at the stars. That's cool. That's a positive. It's freezing cold out. Good. Let me breathe into the freezing cold. Let me embrace this freezing cold. And I can strengthen my immune system against the freezing cold. This is awesome. I'm strengthening my mind against the fucking bitter cold, right? Even if you are surrounded by fuck ups and idiots, it's like, good. I'm surrounded by fuck ups and it's easy for me to be the smartest one here. It's simple. All I have to do is read one book and I'm the smartest fucking person in a group of 10 people who are fucking homeless and drunk on the street, right? And you can find a way, right? It's like you can find a way, or don't, right? Or don't. Go ahead and don't, but you can, you could do it. You could do it, right? You can not. You could choose not to. Fine. But you could choose to. You see that? You see how Jocko chooses to. He chooses to say it's good. Right? We're surrounded. My platoon is surrounded. That's a good thing. Now we know where they are. Right? How easy would it be for him to say, oh my God, we're surrounded. Let's give up. Yeah, he could do that. He's choosing to say it's good in the other direction. Right? So I'm not saying you're not going to all of a sudden turn into this person, but you can start. You could start. It's fucking crazy, but it's also hilarious. It's hilarious. You could get started. And it's going to be like that with your meditation. As soon as you get into the meditation, you're probably going to want to give up. If you're anything like me, maybe I'm just a fucking weakling, I don't know. But when I first started certain different things, maybe even meditation for starters, like it was like immediately I wanted to give up. Like right away. Like 60 seconds in, I was like, I'll give up now. I'm going to give up. Even still, I've done that, and I do an hour a day. Even still, there's been times when I've been like, oh, that was probably about 6 minutes. I'll give up now. Let's just give up. I give up. It's enough. Right? But you realize over time you can gain extra new muscles where you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. Right? And sometimes you still have the thoughts where you're like, I should just give up. But you have extra muscles that are like, oh, no, we're not going to give up. We'll just keep going. It'll get better, or it won't, but we're just going to keep going. Right? And it's like, you mean that's possible? Yeah, it's possible. So you always want to look for that mentality, and for that mentality in people that you meet, and for that mentality in yourself, and realize the other shit is just weakness leaving. It's just when you feel that horrible, fucking crippling, uncomfortable feeling, it's like, oh, good, perfect. Because that's just that old, weak, stupid bullshit that was instilled upon me by some fucking losers. Someone told me it was okay to be a fucking weak loser. Someone convinced me of that, and I believed them because I didn't know any better. Now I'm feeling some kind of discomfort, and that's just that stupid, weak belief leaving. Cool. It's perfect. Right? I'm glad about that. Because whoever told me that, whoever it was, a fucking parent, a teacher, a friend, some fucking ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, someone told you something that you were fucking, it was okay for you to behave in a stupid, weak, fucking pathetic way. You believed them because maybe you didn't know any better. And now, maybe you're hearing me talk, maybe you're going to do your meditation and you're feeling that pain. That's only that old, stupid belief that someone told you leaving. It's just you becoming aware of, oh, that person lied to me. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they lied to me and they just told me that, but it's not really true. Oh, great. That's perfect. And I'm just going to learn past that and whatever. Even if you see that person again and they still try to tell you that, like, oh, you're dumb, you're fucking stupid, ew, you're gross. You're like, oh, cool, perfect. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember you had said that. I'm starting to realize that that's actually not true, but thank you for reminding me, right? So you see how we can always make some growth opportunity from even a old wound of some sort, even an old pattern. So if you find yourself surrounded by a relationship that has always been uh, like harmful to you, and it's always been like a something toxic, and even if you're still around it, right, and even if you find yourself still exposed to that on a regular basis, even if you are like attempting to separate yourself, even if you have gone so far as to like actually tell that person like, hey, your behavior is completely fucking inappropriate and this is stupid and I'm not going to put up with it and blah 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 blah, but you still find yourself like they literally like work next door to you, or they're like your cellmate in prison or something, and you just like, or they're like your fucking mom and you still see her like every day no matter what, you can still take that opportunity to be like, okay, great. I understand that this person always attempts to behave like that towards me because they can, right? Because it's easy and convenient for them to continuously behave like that towards me. You see that? How if you know someone, say it's like your dad, and he always is like picking on you. He's like, you could have been a fucking pro football player, but you just fucking wouldn't play hard enough. And meanwhile, he's just a fucking drunk idiot who gave up on his football career, so he's trying to force you into it. Say that's the case. And every time you see your fucking dad at Christmas time, he's always like, oh, Johnny, you should have been a football star, you fucking idiot. You just embrace that and you're like, oh, wow, look at this opportunity for me to again see how a broken individual is attempting to reinforce his frame upon me, okay? And I now have an opportunity to say, hey, isn't this interesting? I know that what he's saying is just his broken pattern, but I'm actually just going to embrace all this pain, which is just his old way of thinking, which he's trying to force upon me. And this pain that I'm feeling now as he's fucking screaming at me, telling me I should have been a football player, I'm just embracing that pain because I know that's the old, stupid, weak, pathetic pattern that was instilled upon me. I know that's that leaving my body, right? And even if I see that person regularly, every year, every couple times a month, whatever, it's still just me having an opportunity to recognize how that old pattern is leaving. That old pattern is leaving. That person's behaving to me like that in that inappropriate way, and I'm now building up my defenses against that behavior as maybe I couldn't in the past. Now I am building that up, and I'm making it clear that it's not going to be around me anymore. And even though they keep trying, I'm getting better, and I've felt a lot of the pain associated with that, and I know that's that pattern leaving me. And soon enough, if I keep doing this, I won't even be a match for them, and they won't even be able to get me. It's as Lao Tzu says in the Tao Te Ching, the sage who carries the Tao has no place for wild animals to impale upon their fucking teeth and tusks, right? So as you carry the Tao, as you carry the way, as you become more enlightened, you actually don't have a space. You don't have anything that hangs, right? You are just empty space. You don't have something that hangs that some broken fucking hater or some loser, some wild fucking animal like a fucking antelope or something can stab you with its horns. Because you're so aligned, you're so incongruent. They'll still try. An antelope will still try to fucking stab you. Your stupid, drunk fucking relative will still try to be like, you should have been a football player. But you're just in such a zen place, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, maybe I could have been a football player. That's true. And they're like, but you didn't because you didn't play hard enough. And you're like, yeah, maybe. That could be the case. I'm actually quite happy with where I am now, and it's really working out well. And is there anything else? Well, you are a fucking idiot, and you're just like, well, there's been times when I could have done better. I admit that. How about you there, Uncle Billy? You still a fucking drunk degenerate or what? Oh, no, no. And you just see how they're so broken and shattered. They want the drama, they want the nonsense. But you're working on yourself, you're investing in yourself, you're becoming more aligned with yourself, and you're not interested in that anymore. While they still try, while, as Lao Tzu says, like the wild animals will still try to stab you, the fucking drunk uncle will still try to talk shit about you. But you're not really, that's not what you're doing. That's not your priority in life. Your priority is to feel the pain of that old trauma, if that's the behavior they have towards you, but you're trying to process through that and find out how you can learn from that, how you can turn that into a learning experience. Like, oh yeah, I was susceptible. I was susceptible to fucking idiots saying shit about me. But now I'm learning how to become better than that. So I don't really have to spend a lot of time engaging with that anymore. And you can keep moving up, right? And we want to keep doing that. And you know what? That's all we can do, because this is the path we're on. And people who don't want to become real people, people who want to remain fucking zombies, that's their right. You know what I mean? Like, they have the right to do that. They really do. Like, they do. Like, you have the right to be a zombie. Like, oh fuck, low battery. Like, you have the right, I guess. I mean, I guess you do. Like, especially in the Western countries stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, you do have the right just to be drunk. Like, you have the right just to take pills and watch fucking reality television all day long, especially if you have money. Like, you have the right. Like, you have the right just to be lazy and drunk and sit at home watching mainstream television and eating McDonald's every day, smoking cigarettes, fucking being mean to people. Like, I guess, like, technically you do have the right to do that. Like, you do. And it's like, it's not really like anyone else's place to like try to like force you to change, really. Like, you can't really do that. Like, I'm not like forcing people to watch these videos. Like, you don't have to watch them. Like, you can do something else. Like, what I'm doing is I'm proposing, like, if you are hearing this, then it means you're listening to it for a reason. So there you go. You're already in, right? You're already in. It's too late for you now. There is no turning back as far as I'm concerned. You're hearing this. You heard the message. You were capable of hearing it. If you weren't capable of hearing it, then I don't care. You would be watching fucking The Big Bang Theory and you wouldn't even be watching this. So you are hearing it. So for you, my friend, it is too late. You're already in now. You're already on this path towards enlightenment, towards success, because you're taking the red pill. It's like, the more you listen, the more you're swallowing the red pill. And the more you're just going to disengage from the matrix, you know? So at some point, it's like, yo, it is too late for you. It's too late for me, for damn sure. And it's too late for a lot of people. And that one character in the Matrix who made a deal with Agent Smith and made a deal with the machines to be put back into the Matrix, that's real, man. That is real shit. Like, that is a real thing. Do not underestimate that. Like, people who have fully disengaged and have gone out of the Matrix, like, there will be a moment when you're like, can I just make a deal and go back in? Like, is it possible for me just to make a deal and go right back to like my one little lifestyle, my watching The Big Bang Theory once a week, eating McDonald's twice a week, having a Coke for fucking dinner, go to sleep, normal life, keep my fucking head down, and Can I have that, please? Like, there really is, but realistically, you can't. Like, it's just too late. You can't put the toothpaste back into the fucking bottle. You know, you can't you can't put the genie back in. It's like, once you're out, you're out. Like, there's certain things that once you see behind the curtain, you can't really be convinced otherwise. Like, once you realize, oh, Santa Claus was just a made up thing. Once you realize, you're like, oh, Santa Claus is just a made up thing. Oh, okay. You can't then be like, no, I do want to believe Santa Claus is real. Like, no, I'm going back to Santa Claus. Sorry, man, it's too late for that. You're already in. You're already in the game. You disconnected. You're in the real shit now. All right. Okay, well, whatever. That was a half hour. That went quick today. We got, another, I guess, probably like 10 days. So it's a little more than a week. We got like a week and a half left. Holy, okay. Well, I'll bang off the rest of these this week. Get your shit together, people, and get up on your meditation. I'm going to do mine today. Rattle it off. Sacral chakra. Boom. An hour. And get that shit done. People, do your stuff. Hit me up in the DMs if you've been doing it, if you're going hard. All right. Everybody, until next time, peace out.